Hey, what's up, nofio heads? Bruno here again. So we just got back from Miami and that was really exciting. We gained a lot from it. We walked away with a lot of knowledge, a lot of feedback and things that we can improve on as well. Quite a few things that were mentioned there, we already had them fixed. It just wasn't on that hardware that we brought in, the engineering sample. Yeah, so this is, all really interesting feedback. We really appreciate. The nofio app, people were pretty happy with it. It was nice to get some good feedback because we have been trying to get that user flow as clean as possible, not, intrude your gameplay or you're trying to get started quick and then you have to do a whole bunch of setup. So we got good feedback in there that it kind of stays out of the way but gives you enough information. Recovery as well, in terms of like if something happens, system is able to recover itself without you having to go back to the PC or reset everything. That was a nice one. Rate control feedback, so at some point some of the guys were doing crazy stuff, jumping around, and they said, oh, it was great that once things got really hectic, the system didn't shut down or anything. It just got it felt like lowering the resolution really quickly while I'm moving and then going back up. So that was nice to hear, because those things are quite hard to tune, get to a happy state in terms of how everything goes together. The battery, having that freedom of putting the battery just below the head, but also put it in your pocket. People, I think, really appreciate that freedom, being able to plug different batteries, as long as they obviously can do the job supplying power, but plugging different batteries, putting them elsewhere, not just having to keep them up here. So if you want an even lighter setup. And another interesting one as well was it's easier laying down with the nofio head versus cable, just because it makes things flatter. And I was like, oh my god, you're laying down on top of the nofio head, but it works, and that was interesting. I would have never thought of that, but yeah, thank you so much for everybody that came in. That was really amazing. Can't wait to get this in your guys' hands and see what you do with it. Pole dancing maybe. And yeah, so in terms of updates for the month of August, there aren't a lot because most of the hard work has been done now. So thankfully we're now on the finishing line just before mass production. Getting this from a prototype to a consumer hardware, it was such a massive challenge, and we can say now that we are in the finishing stages of it. So we just quickly going over things in terms of the electronics. As you guys know, we had some issues on the head side that we found. So they're already fixed. We've got Rev 2 boards just landing in, and that's what we're gonna bring with us for the final stages of regulatory, right? So the team will be traveling to China to work with our partners on the final regulatory stage, so EMC tests and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then as soon as that's done, mass production, right? So electronics, we're really happy with that. The short cable, it's been done, so that's actually finalized, that's finished. We just need to mass manufacture that as well. The battery, it's done. It's been done for quite some time now, so it's just finishing all the regulatories that it needs. We are confident there's nothing wrong there, and mass manufacturing. Plastics, so we had minor updates in terms of the vent, so we improved the airflow. That has been tested and approved, working well. So that pretty much, so the plastics V5, which is just vent update, that is done and we'll bring with us for all the regulatory testing. So we have our Wi-Fi module has been approved, so we have all the regulatory done on the Wi-Fi module, and the final stage for it now, it's in an enclosure with the final plastics and for the SAR test. So that's for emissions, because it's a wearable, so we need that final regulatory to be done, and that's what we'll be doing as well alongside the EMC in last week of September. So the team will travel end of September and get it all done. So plastics are finalized. Software, we've had many releases. We got heaps of feedback, a lot of positive feedback actually in the backers event as well in terms of the software. So we're pretty happy with it. It's just now is the final stages of tuning. That's why such events are so important. I actually wish we did more and more of those. You know, we are like all the way in Australia, but we note down every single feedback and we're just gonna keep on getting better, right? You guys will get updates quite often every time we improve something. But in terms of releasing the software, we've got MVP, what we call MVP2 coming at the end of September. So that's what we call the first consumer usable software version, right? That includes the nofio app as well on Steam. And then we're gonna get like pretty much at the end of every month a release with, you know, fixes and improvements if depending on the feedback. But yeah, so that's, you know, software, we're pretty happy there. And the last one that we got some questions on as well was the body strap. So the EOZ nofio body strap, that's also, you know, in terms of prototyping, that has been finalized. So it's just a matter of mass manufacturing. So we're really at the finishing line here, guys. You know, all these items, it's pretty much waiting to be mass produced. We will keep you up to date with the regulatory of every progress we make in terms of shipment and fulfillment. And yeah, you know, it's feeling pretty good with the month of August. Oh, right, fulfillment. So, emails, right? We saw, I saw like some posts on people asking about, oh, you know, I haven't received my fulfillment email yet. What's going on? Don't worry, guys. We haven't, you know, we didn't forget about you. We haven't actually sent those emails yet, so we will pretty soon send you guys the emails explaining exactly what to do, like we mentioned in the video before. And so once we do that, we're gonna tell you on Twitter and all platforms, and you know, in our Kickstarter page as well. And if you notice that you haven't received, then, you know, contact us so that we fix everything, right? So don't worry, we will take care of you guys, and it will be done. The fulfillment will be done without any issues. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.